Dying. That was easy. Painless, emotionless. It was nothing. Perhaps her final breath came so peacefully as a gift for having blessed the world. But death was not a force to be reckoned with. It took its revenge in the agony that tore through her body. Revenge for the mockery she'd made of the god of death. Hours, days, weeks. Faythe couldn't be sure how long the inferno raged while she lay at its mercy. She wished she could explain that this was not her fault, not some defiant stance. But it was too late. Her first breath crashed like a wave, dousing the fire in her veins at once, her senses flooding in again in a rush of clarity so pure. The air rushed down her throat, filled her lungs, and awakened her heart with strong, full beats. Through her nose, every scent burst to reveal the notes of a dozen more. If she focused on those scents, she could refine and separate each one to discover far more than she'd ever known. Breathing came steady and new. Her lids slid open, the luminance enough to sting her eyes as they adjusted from their slumber. The discomfort subsided quickly. Her pupils dilated, focused, ready to explore every hidden detail of her surroundings, everything exposed so sharply. Faythe blinked a few times, overwhelmed but exhilarated. A shadow was cast over her. Faythe shifted her head, registering the cushion of flesh that cradled her, enveloping her in a scent she'd followed all the way back from the brink of oblivion. Leather, spice, and something as cold as ice. Rhyenelle looked down at her, his beautiful face distraught. The sight made her chest clench so painfully. She raised a hand to his cheek, and as soon as her skin touched his, Faythe's lips parted at the explosion of sensation. A warm vibration like the one she knew, but somehow deeper. Her thumb brushed the wetness on his battle-worn skin, her eyes fixed on the glistening trails. "Why are you crying?" she whispered, but even her own hushed words seemed so loud. When her eyes met his, through his irises, Rhyenelle connected with her with such a bright flare of awakening, Faythe became entranced by them. Sapphire and gold. In his eyes she watched the colors merging, orbiting her to their eternal dance, wrapping around her like a tether that surged through her, tugging at something so bound to the essence of all she was. "The great general of Rhyenelle is your soul-bonded mate."